next thing you know, I'm, touching myself to the magazine and sipping on the liquor. And then I'm sipping on, at one point I'm sipping on the magazine, dude. I'm trying to pour the titties into my mouth and I'm touching the bottle. I just got all damn confused. And then at one point I blacked out and fell off that shelving unit. Like a damn, I fell off a child. I landed a man, baby. And I was blacked out unconscious. Erect and had liquor, peach liquor on. A very interesting question as to the time in men's life about their body and their semen. And I want to just hear that question right now. Here it is. I'm sure there's probably, if there's anybody out there, if you ever had a brother, you accidentally seen your brother masturbate or something, and I'm not trying to be, nasty or whatever, but I'm just curious the effect it has on you. Can you still look at him the same? Is everything still okay between you? And if you saw him, do you tell him? Do you let him know that, or is that a private thing? And, or if your brother saw you, how did you handle that? How'd you handle that? And we had a lot of interesting calls, man. And I find this stuff to be fascinating. And some people will say, this stuff's homoerotic. I don't find that. But I find it interesting to get a bead on how we learn sex and what it means and how we, I've had taboos at things in my life where I was like, oh, I can't talk about this. I can't share this. I can't say things that I'm into or not into. I'm afraid. I've always had an intense nervousness around sex. So it's always felt like this just crazy game of freeze tag where it's just like, you're it. It's like, I don't know. I've never handled it super well. I get so damn excited. I'm like one of those fainting goats, I'm like one of those fainting goats, baby, when it comes to the sexual and the full sexual, baby. I got that fainting goat energy. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in there. I'll be bleating and hammering, and I'll be eating garbage. I'm that goat, but damn, son. Before I know it, a couple thrusts in, and the clock strikes midnight, and I'm faint. I faint. I get my energy gets so heightened up I can't handle it, and my brain shuts down. But anyway, let's get back to you guys. Sorry, I'm hogging all this. That was the question, and you guys had some great calls that came in, man. I want to hear a couple of them. Here we go.
Gang, Theo, this is Zach. What's going on, man?
Zach. And that's short usually for Zachariah, I believe. Or Zach, Z-A-C-H, Zach, maybe even. I think that's somewhere else. So let's hear it.
I was just listening to your episode the other day, and you're talking about, learning to beat off and stuff. And getting like caught by your brother or whatever. Now, I never got caught by a family member, but I got taught by a fella down the street from me, and he taught me what masturbation was. And then, back in middle school when you were figuring that out, and all the homies found out, we all found out together how to beat off. One guy learns, he starts telling his buddy like, yo, you got to try this shit. And the next thing you know, bro, it's a Friday night. We're having a sleepover and we're all hanging out, watching some freaking pornography together, just beating off.
Oh yeah. The devil's video game, baby. That little spunk Bowser. You know what I'm talking about. Fighting that damn inner enemy. Onward.
Just a bunch of freaking 12-year-old dudes just getting there. Nothing's coming out. We couldn't come yet, but, we were trying. Anyway, it wasn't gay or nothing. It's just, your boys found out how to beat off. You're like, dude, this shit's sick. Anyways, bro, love the podcast. Love you, man. Gang.
Gang, baby, this shit's sick, bro. Dang, bro, we were at Randall's and we were beating up. Yeah, baby, look, it's all interesting. How does it come into your life? How do you learn it? Is it in a comfortable space? Is it in an uncomfortable space? I'm sure if you and all your friends are out there just dry, beating, but not even saying it, not even, just like the damn Blue Man Group out there. You guys are doing, you're putting in the work, but you don't really know, y'all ain't getting nothing out. That's the damn Blue Man Group. Hell, that could have been how the Blue Man Group started. A couple dudes beating, and there's no, no geysering, no spout, and the next thing you know, they damn turn blue, and they start a band. Yeah, I think, look, of course, it's nothing gay to nobody, unless there's a gay dude who was in the group. If that's the case, then that is he saved the sheets, that guy. If you have a friend who isn't married and he's never had a girlfriend and he wears a bed sheet every Halloween with the eyes cut out, and it's the same bed sheet, then that dude was an undercover gay dude who was in y'all's friend group. Because he probably started taking art classes. He's drawing those scenes. I mean, to him, that's everything. But yeah, it's interesting. How do you learn it? I remember somebody at school one time said the word dildo, and I didn't know what it was. And I knew a lot of words. I was a word boy. You'd see me sometime running down the street, a damn preposition fall out of my bag, or a ing, or a LED, or a damn, you'd see a damn onomatopoeia just roll, fall out of my shirt sleeve or something. I was a word boy. And man, yeah, you see, man, what was I talking about? No, I don't know. But that's one way. Look, I think that's insane to see people just using a damn air rifle to some of y'all, that's insane to me, but that's how you learned it. I mean, I remember I had found some nudie magazines, titty literature. You know what I'm talking about, titty literature, baby. And I'd found them on the top level of my brother's closet. And dude, I got out there, and at the same time, I found a little bit of Alizé liquor. And that shit was peach flavored or something. Something beautiful, beautiful flavor. A flavor. They didn't have a lot of flavor back then. You had peppermint, you had strawberry, you had lime had just come out. And people were all crazy about lime, You'd see husband, spousal killing. Somebody choked the spouse to death. He wouldn't share the lime, He kept the lime in his truck, So when peach came out, people were fucking keyed up. You'd see people keying each other's cars and yelling, "You're a pussy," out of their vehicle when they were driving by and shit. People didn't know how to handle the energy because nobody'd seen peach before as a new flavor. And damn, when it hit the scene, people were gassed up. And I got up on that. It was the top level in my brother's closet, and they had some nudie magazine and some liquor. And I'd never had ne'er one of them, bro. And I crack open one, and I crack open the other. And next thing you know, I'm, touching myself to the magazine and sipping on the liquor. And then I'm sipping on, one point I'm sipping on the magazine, dude. I'm trying to pour the titties into my mouth, and I'm touching the bottle. I've just got all damn confused. And then at one point I blacked out and fell off that shelving unit. Like a damn, I fell off a child. I landed a man, baby. And I was blacked out unconscious, erect, and had liquor, peach liquor on my breath. Onward.
Hey, this is Stevie D calling out of New Jersey.
Stevie D out of New Jersey. And some people can't even spell their last name. Isn't that, and I'm not saying that's sad, Stevie. I just, we're here for you, Bubby. Stevie D. Thank you, brother. Onward.
Just calling to tell you what it's like to have your brother walk in on you, jerking it. Not only did my brother catch me jerking it, but also my sister and my mother did as well. Not at the same time, although I think that might have actually been better. But yeah, anyways, it's fucking horrible. It's exactly how you would imagine it. It ruins not only that day, but a week, possibly 10 days of your life. Just feels pure shame. Your brother tries to pretend everything's okay, but it isn't.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your brother's he's no, Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever. He's no Brad Paisley. He's not a great actor. So he can try to pretend all he wants that everything's fine, but the reality is seeping through the seams that he knows that you are, touching your body in such a unique way that semen's coming out of it. And that's a lot, man. It sounds like a lot anyway. Onward.
My mom was probably the worst, though, because she walked in and I was just sitting on a bed, staring at a laptop, naked, sitting there, crisscross applesauce.
Oh, Native American style. Now, you got to respect that a little. I'm 1/8 Pontiac, baby, and you got to respect a man who gets back to his roots to get back to his roots. Onward.
And, it really just made me take a good look at my life.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's exactly as bad as you would imagine it.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine. I can see when all the family sees it. When all the family gets the hang of that, when they all get to, and then they're talking, they're talking about it. They're going to the movies, and after the movie, they're walking to the car, and one of them's like, oh, remember when,
hey, this is Stevie D.
Remember when Stevie D, was bursting himself over there? And then the other one's like, so he was bursting himself by me, So, yeah, I'm sure that they have had a real hoot. Now, I'm sure you're giving them a lot of joy. Now, at the time, very traumatic. Especially your sister and mother to see it. I mean, don't you know how to lock a door? Don't you know how to damn close a door? What do you. And who sits there in Native American? I mean, I guess I'm sorry, I'm really judging here, but well, here's what I would do. I think you should make some joy out of it now. I would have them all bring a scorecard to the table one day. Y'all are at dinner, you have dessert, have a pudding. Have a pudding. And be like, look, guys, on the count of 3, I want you to all rate me on how you felt like I was doing as a masturbateur. And then they all hold that card up. You get a 9, you get a 6. If your sister gives you a 10, dude, then you guys, then that's on her now. If your sister gives you a damn 10 on turbating, that's on her. So I think, but that would add some levity to it and really bring it off that high cliff of, Stevie D's a pervert. Stevie D, he's a pervert. All right, let's get in another one here, right here.